Guys, this is my Walking Dead Season 6 Episode 7 review. Overall, I think it was an amazing episode. We finally got to see Glenn was alive. We saw that sequence, the flashback sequence of how he got out of that. Basically, he just went under the dumpster. Most of us predicted that. And he just waited it out. He was dehydrated when he came out of that. He killed a couple walkers around the dumpster so they can't, chase him. And then once they were done with Nicholas, they just left. So it was great to see. We finally got that. Most of us already kind of knew because all the evidence that was out there and everything. But it was really fun to see that sequence, and it was great to see him again. A lot of us predicted maybe it was going to be Daryl, Sasha, and Abraham, or maybe Jesus to save him. Nobody saved him. He just waited it out. We finally found out where Enid is as well. She's been holding up next door. Basically, the dumpster's there, and there's a building right next to the dumpster. She's been in that building the whole time, waiting it out, so to speak. So when the walkers left, Enid basically just gave him some water, and then throughout the episode they were just arguing basically because Enid doesn't want to go back. She knows that a place like Alexandria is not going to hold up forever, and Glenn during the episode is just trying to convince her, let's go home. And he tries to tell her there's friends back there, there's family back there, and she doesn't want to. She kind of is trying to stay away from losing people again. She's trying to stop herself from caring about people, or else she's gonna go what she went with her parents again. Basically, she obviously was sad where her parents died and everything. She's an orphan, and then Glenn told her that maybe he's an orphan too, so they're both orphans. His parents are probably gone and everything. So throughout the episode, he's trying to convince her. At one point, they're in a restaurant, and then she's trying to look for places to go. She keeps writing JSS everywhere, so that's really good to see. She pulls a gun at Glenn. I guess at one point she's just trying to kill her because she doesn't want to go. She really doesn't want to go. She doesn't want to go through that pain again. And then Glenn just takes the gun away. They go back to get the balloons. They make a plan, so to speak, to get more balloons and try to attract the walkers or try to signal the Alexandrians that they're alive. At the end of the episode, we see that, so that was great to see. Final thing we see from them is that at one point, Glenn's just lecturing Enid about basically going back. And she says he doesn't want to lecture, and she doesn't want him to talk about her parents and everything. He just says that you need to keep living for your parents. So he is trying to convince her, and at one point he does, because at the end of the episode they're at Alexandria. They're outside Alexandria. So, but at the same time, she doesn't want to go there. Basically, Glenn is forcing her to go, convincing her, because she knows that eventually, in her mind, that Alexandria's not going to stand forever, and it's going to be gone one day. And maybe the day is today because the walkers are surrounding the whole area, and she doesn't want to go. At the end of the episode, this was really great. It kind of sucks for everyone because the bell tower is stumbling throughout the episode, and it finally fell. It collapsed. Both Rick and Tobin were checking the perimeter, and Tobin was helping Rick make it stronger and everything, that wall, that section, because the bell tower is stumbling. At the end of the episode, it just collapses. All we see is the walkers pour in, and all they could do at this point is just go hide. A million walkers just pouring in. There's no end to sight. Rick was telling everyone earlier on that they're going to be okay, even though they're trapped. They have enough food. Since this collapse, it's going to be interesting because a lot of people are going to die. And it kind of sucks for everyone because they're trapped. They were trapped before, and now they're trapped inside the houses, so they can't even do anything about it. Rick talks with Morgan about basically what happened in episode 2 about the wolves. Why did he? Basically, they're telling him why did he let the wolves go, and he tries to explain his philosophy to them that all life is precious, that it is easy to kill. He's choosing not to kill because he doesn't want to go back to the way he was. It is hard for him to not kill people. But at the same time, he does believe that all life is precious. He's trying to give these people a chance, basically. And Rick is trying to... Rick, Carol, and Michonne are trying to convince him about him changing, because Rick says that line from the Comic-Con trailer, that making it now, do you think you can really do that while getting blood on your hands? And Morgan says that he has to. Even though this world is an apocalypse, obviously, they kind of have to kill or else they die. He is trying to be strong in terms of not breaking his philosophy. He doesn't want to go back to the way he was. He also tells him that back then he was trying to kill Rick with a knife and everything. He stabbed him in the chest, and Rick didn't kill him. So he's trying to like switch, like get in his head a little that you didn't kill me back then, so why are you criticizing me about not killing these people? Just trying to convince him to change because he has to. We all know he has to. He has to change to a certain extent, or else something's gonna happen. And I think that's gonna come into play in the finale, just because the walkers are inside and that wolf is still in there. Another thing is that Morgan is trying to talk to Denise, the doctor, about a wound. How do you know it's infected? That's basically what he's asking. And then at the end, he takes her to basically to the wolf. And Carol is following her, and this is really funny to me. She's in the house across the street with the baby. She drops off the baby, and then afterwards she basically knows that they're in there, and she knows that there's somebody in there. Not specifically a wolf, but somebody is in there. So she asks Morgan who's in there, and then that's where the episode ends with that. Rosita's trying to get the Alexandrians to basically get ready. She's training them with machetes and everything. She's teaching them how to swing them, how to basically get them out and everything. And she's trying to make Eugene do the same thing, but Eugene doesn't want to. Spencer at one point is trying to get it out of Alexandria. His explanation for this is he's trying to go get a car and lure the walkers away. He almost died. He uses a grappling hook. He throws it across, and then he tries to, I guess, crawl across the rope. And at one point, the rope just gives out, and he falls down. He got lucky. Rick, Morgan, and Tobit are trying to pull him up. At the same time, Tara was shooting the walkers. She's like hanging like this. She almost died too. And then afterwards, he basically obviously tells Spencer why did he do this. And at the same time, he's telling Tara, why would you risk your life for these people? So at this point, Rick doesn't care about these people. He still calls them these people. He doesn't really care about them too much. His explanation for saving Spencer was just because he's Diana's son. So if he wasn't Diana's son, I think he would have let him die, because he also says, I could have made a run for it and got in a car and then lured some of the walkers away, but that was his explanation. I didn't let him die because he's your son. So that kind of sucks for everyone else, because he still looks at these people as strangers. He doesn't accept them. Tara and Michonne are surprised at this because they accept them as a part of their group, and they don't want. Rick doesn't care about them right now. This part is really interesting. Carl and Rick are teaching Ron how to shoot, how to point, and it's interesting because while they're doing this, Carl's giving him tips, and he kind of like looks at him funny. He doesn't want his advice. He's just playing it cool right now, but he doesn't want his advice. He doesn't really like him anymore. And at one point, Ron actually sneaks into the armory, and he knocks down some canned food, and then Olivia obviously is coming over and picking it up, basically as a distraction, and he's going over and he basically grabs like at least 10 bullets, I want to say, for the gun. And at the end of the episode, all you see is him walking and pulling the gun out. I kind of predicted this because it did look like him. I think he's gonna shoot Carl. I think that makes sense. I'm gonna do my predictions later on, but I think the reason he wanted bullets is he wants to shoot Carl. That was interesting. I'm interested to see what's gonna happen with that, because the walkers are inside, and I think him and Carl are on the other side of the breach. The breach is over here, and they're over here. So they're way over here. They don't know what's going on. They may know what's going on, but I think he's still going to shoot him, to be honest with you. That's all I want to say. Overall, I think this was an amazing episode. I'm going to do my predictions tomorrow, so look up for those. Can't wait for next week, because the bell tower fell and the walkers are inside. At least we also got Glenn, so I was happy about that. We got all these great conversations between the characters, all this character development. My score for this one is going to be an 8.5 out of 10, and I need questions for the Q&A, so leave them in the comments. Also, if you like this video, please thumb it up. If you want to support the channel, please share and favorite. And if you're new and you want to get the latest Walking Dead videos from me, please subscribe. That's it for this video. See you guys next time, and thanks for watching.